Hello, fictional. Welcome to the Fiction Series X. Today we are gonna see, what if Issei got harem with Kuroka, Koneko and Asia. Part 1. If you end up liking this video, please consider subscribe, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Issei Haidu was walking down the street, going back to his house after school. A new episode of Code Geass was going to show today, and he wanted to watch it live. Ever since he had started watching Code Geass, Issei made it a point to stop hanging out with his pervy friends and smarten up. He started by following Lelich's lead and learning chess. Halfway through the season, Issei was pretty good, beating all of his friends and most adults, even at his young age of 10. As he was about to turn the corner, he noticed that there was no one around. No kids, no cars, no adults, no nothing. Then, he heard something that sounded like wing beats. He looked behind him and saw 3 men, each with 3 pairs of pitch black wings. "Hello? Are you Issei Haidu?" the apparent leader asked. Who's asking?" Issei replied. "A fallen angel. I'm assuming you are, since you match the description. I'm terribly sorry, but I'm afraid we have orders to kill you," the man said, with a face that showed little regret. "I don't suppose we could just talk this out." "No, I'm afraid we can't. Pray, my friend, for you will die this day." With these words, the fallen angel summoned a light spear and threw it at Issei. After a moment of flying, it hit just next to Issei, exploding and throwing Issei across the street, where he stopped when he hit a wall of a church. "Issei, I told you to prepare yourself," the fallen angel said. "I don't know what you want, please let me live." "As I said, I cannot." "Boy. Do you want to live?" "Yes. Of course." "Then do as I say." "No. Do as I say." "Don't listen to that white fool. Listen to me. That redneck is racist. Listen to me." "Did you just call me a redneck, you cracker?" "What if I did? What are you going to do?" "Huh? Kill me? Good luck." "Wait, stop fighting. Help me." "Oh yeah. You're still in danger, aren't you?" "Cracker, I got this." "Punk, you redneck. I'll handle this one." "Issei, to summon me, all you have to do is focus your emotions into your left arm and shout, boosted gear." "No. Don't do that. Summon me by focusing your emotions into your right arm and shout, dividing gear." "How can I do both?" "No. Choose." "Tough." Issei focused all his emotions, his will to live, his love for his parents, and his future bride. He wanted to live, he needed to live. So he focused them into both of his arms and shouted. Boosted gear. Dividing gear. As he said this, a red gauntlet appeared on his left arm, while a white gauntlet appeared on his right arm, and wings grew from his back. "Funk you. Yeah, you should have just chosen one of us." "How the hell do I fight?" "For me, shout boost. It will double your power. There will be a 10-second delay, then you can do it again. After a couple times, just aim your hand and yell, explosion. As for me, you need to touch one of them, then yell, divide. I also have a 10-second delay. The result should cut their power in half and add it to yours. I suggest starting with the polite one. I'm way stronger though. Start using my power." "No. Start with me." "Shut up. I'm assuming that if I die, you die. So deal with each other just for this fight, okay?" "Fine. Very well." Issei shouted. Boost. He felt a surge of power flow through him and he charged the 3 fallen angels. "What do you think you are doing, boy?" the lead fallen angel asked. "Preparing myself." As he said this, he punched the lead fallen angel in the face, sending him flying into another building. "Divide." And as soon as he said it, a white aura enveloped the fallen angel and a white ball emerged from his chest and flew towards Issei. Once Issei absorbed it, he felt even more power flow through him. Meanwhile, the other 2 fallen angels were cowering in fear at the sudden comeback of the human they assumed would be an easy kill. "Let's finish this." Boost. Explosion. And a beam of energy shot out of his left arm and killed the 2 other fallen angels. He began panting, having exerted too much energy. "See? I told you that you should have just used one." "Yeah. Now you're all tired. I'll take control and fly you back to your house." "No. I will assume control. But you have wings." After a moment of silence, he continued. "Exactly. Now shut up. Come make me." Issei suddenly lost what little control of his wings he had and was flown home. By his arm. That makes sense, right? Right. Because if not, something's definitely wrong. Once at his house, Issei laid on his bed and closed his eyes. Who are you?" "Does it matter who we are?" "It very much matters. I am DDRAIG, the Red Dragon Emperor. And I am. He is unimportant. Just listen to me. Albion, the White Dragon Emperor. Don't listen to the rude redneck. He's racist." "Shut up, you cracker." "I am not." Yes you are, you just called me a cracker just because I'm white. Well you call me redneck. How's that any different? I don't speak, act, or taste like a cracker. You act, behave, and speak like a redneck. Is there anything else you need to say? I'd appreciate it if you would stop fighting. It's a real pain, especially if I'm in another fight. I didn't start it. He did. No I didn't. He stole my girlfriend. No I didn't, she was just crashing at my cave after a long night at the pub. Really? Yes. Truce. Okay. Truce. Did I miss something? We have been fighting each other for the past couple millennia. Anyway, I'm going to take a nap. Ask Alboin about anything that you need. He's the brains, well I've always been bronze. True. Have you gone to sleep yet Drag? Zzz. Good. Issei, I don't want to have any secrets between us. I banged his girlfriend. But I do regret it, she got really upset after Drag commented on her figure, so she got me drunk. Please don't think poorly of me, or tell Drag. We were best friends before, but he would never listen to reason and always attacked me before I could talk. In all of past lives, being transported from one host to another, we would fight each other. Well, more like he would attack me, while I would try to talk to him, then kill him out of irritation. Which reminds me, you should be happy. Never in existence has there been someone who has had both Drag and I in their possession. I wouldn't call being attacked by 3 people I've never met lucky. Ah yes. I should also explain that to you as well. The 3 strongest factions of this time are the angels, fallen angels, and devils. All of these are derived from the Bible. Long ago, there was a war. During this war, the 3 factions were almost destroyed until Drag found out what happened between me and his girlfriend. He went on a rampage, and I fought back. They assumed that we meant to destroy the world and thus sealed us in something called a sacred gear. Only humans can be born with them, as they were God's gift to humanity. Also, this is a big secret. So you have to promise not to tell anybody before I tell you. Okay. I swear on my life. New rule. Never swear on your life. You're part dragon, which means when you do and you intentionally break it, you will die. But you won't if you have truly done everything in your power to keep your oath. Intense. Wait, did you say I'm part dragon? Yes. Because you have both Drag and I, you have become more dragon than any other being that wasn't born a dragon has been. You will gain extreme strength, speed, endurance, and lifespan. Also, you will attract more members of the opposite sex. Most of our hosts have appreciated that fact. Anyways, the secret. God of the Bible is dead. What? Yep. So don't tell anyone okay? It would cause a mass panic and many lives would be lost. Any other questions? Is everything in the Bible true? It's kind of true. It's like those pathetic movies that are based on a true story. Most of the events did happen, but not in the way it says, with varying degrees of accuracy. Can you tell me anything about the 3 factions? You ask a lot of questions. I like that. And of course I can. The angels are the weakest, mainly because they can't make any more angels. Their leader is Michiel, and their second in command is Gabriel. She's super hot. And a virgin, or so I've heard. Did I mention that the angels are getting desperate for more members? Like children. And I did mention that members of the opposite sex will be naturally attracted to you. I get the feeling that you want something. I'm the White Dragon Emperor. I have a thing for angels. Drag has a thing for devils. It's one of the reasons that he had girlfriend that would cheat on him, a bitchy devil, and why she had to get me drunk first, because I don't condone cheating. Moving on, the fallen angels are the second weakest, since they can get more members by either having kids, which is encouraged in fallen angel society, as opposed to the heavens, where it's looked down upon, since that's how many angels fall. The other way they can get members is by recruiting angels and having the fall from heaven. Their leader is Azazel, and their second in command is Kakabiel. I've heard that Azazel is a pretty cool dude. The fallen angels are kind of a mix of the 2 factions, so Drag and I never really liked them, nor disliked them. The final faction is the devils, who are undoubtedly the strongest. They can gain members by having kids or by turning members of other races into devils. Because of this, they have far superior numbers, and their members have a wide variety of attacking forms, unlike the other 2, who are largely limited to light attacks. As I previously said, Drag has a thing for devils. I never understood why. Do you have any idea why the fallen angel faction attacked me? I didn't do anything, last time I checked. Like I said, Azazel is a pretty cool guy. I only briefly met him once, but I have heard very nice things about him. However, the second in command, Kakabiel, isn't. He's a warmonger. I wouldn't be surprised if he put that hit squad on you to prevent a potential threat. You probably shouldn't hold a grudge against all fallen angels, because I doubt they would all approve of this. These factions sound dangerous. Should I align myself with one of them? I'm too biased to say. I would, of course, say the angels, but Drake would argue that you should align yourself with the devils. In fairness, the devils have made significant progress from the barbarians that were portrayed in the Bible. But I still wouldn't trust them too much. If I'm part dragon, shouldn't I just join the dragon faction? Dragon faction? There's no such thing. Well, there is, but it's just something that this one dragon named Tannen used to get some apples. Don't ask about the apples. Seriously? Why? I just said don't ask why, kid. I meant why isn't there a legitimate dragon faction? Why would we need one? We rock. We don't need to gather to prove it. But then you could help each other and protect each other. That's good. Right. I suppose so. Who's the strongest dragons right now? Well, there's Great Red, who's the most powerful being in the universe. Then there's Office, who is the second most powerful being in the universe. Then there's some evil dragons, but I haven't heard from any of them for a while. Then the Dragon Kings. There were 6, but then Tannen became a devil, so now there's 5. And Drake and I used to be somewhere between the evil dragons and Office. But then we were sealed, and we were never more powerful than any one of the Dragon Kings. But now with both of us in you, you have the potential to become the most powerful being in the universe. Not that you'll achieve that for quite some time. What would you say about making a dragon faction? I mean, there's no real downside, even if it's just a loose agreement between dragons to help each other whenever possible. Or it could be as great as assembling a dragon army. Why not? I can't really control you, so you have all the power here. You should ask Drake too though. Actually, I have nothing against it. But, I do suggest one thing. If you do this, make sure you're on friendly terms with all 3 factions. If you're not, there's a chance that you could start a war. If you do, then most dragons would see you as a warmonger and wouldn't even consider joining you. Actually, some might because you're a warmonger. But that's besides the point. Any advice on how to keep on good terms with all the factions? There's one sure way. Induct members of their faction into your faction. I suggest you do this by marrying them. I did mention Gabriel, right? Wait, but then I'd have to marry at least 3 women. I don't think they'd go for that. You'd be surprised. It's very common in devil culture, and the fallen angels don't believe in monogamy, let alone marriage, so they wouldn't have a problem with them. But you might want to keep an eye on them if you don't want them wandering, if you get my drift. As for the angels, they might be a little difficult but very doable. Especially if they get really desperate. Also, there are other, smaller, factions. Such as the Yokai, the Japanese, Greek, Norse, and Hindu religions. I also suggest you add at least one of their members into your harem as well. Hold up, who said anything about a harem? I did. Didn't you hear me? You're starting a dragon faction, and the best way to make that start out smoothly would be to start a harem with at least one member of each of the factions. I say you should add Gabriel to that list. I get it, you like Gabriel. Calm down. I'll do my best, you have my word. But if I were to add her to my harem, wouldn't she fall from heaven? Or at least stop being an angel? That would cause some turmoil. Well, angels only fall from heaven if they put something above God, which happens when people fall in love. As long as she doesn't fall head over heels for you, she'll be fine. And you wouldn't convert her to being a dragon, well you can do something similar, she would still be an angel, she would just also be a member of your harem. Well, that sounds okay I guess. Can you wake Drake up? I know I can't hear how you spelled it, but I know you spelled it in your head with just 1 D. There's 2. Drake, not Drake. And yes I can. EDRAIG, wake the funk up. The kid wants to talk with you, you pathetic redneck. ZZZ. He mentioned something about banging a devil. Huh? Banging a devil? Wow. Kid wants to talk. Oh? Thanks. What's up kid? You have a thing for devils, right? Yeah. What about it? I'm thinking about starting a dragon faction, since it looks like there isn't a real one. Albion suggested that I start a harem, mentioning Gabriel by name several times, and he also mentioned that you have a thing for devils. Do you know of any that are worth adding to my potential harem? Some say that Seraphil is the hottest woman in hell. They're all liars. She's a cold-hearted bitch. Wow. Okay, I won't add her, calm down. Do you have anything positive to say about the devils? Or just mean things to say about Seraphil? I suggest adding this girl named Rias. She is the next in line for the Gremory household and is pretty hot, from what I hear. If genetics are anything to go by, she'll be smoking hot. I haven't seen her since I've been stuck in you these last 10 years, but I did hear about her when she was still in her mother, well in my last host. She might be engaged to some other devil, since she's a pure-blooded devil, and the devils are all about that, but if you talk to her brother, Serziches, and he should agree to it to maintain friendly relations with the dragon faction. Okay. And do you have any problems with starting a dragon faction? Why the funk would I? I want to become stronger, and this looks like a great way to do that. Not to mention, getting some of the most powerful beings in the galaxy in the same place would be badass. No one would dare stealing my girlfriend then. By my girlfriend, I mean your girlfriend. Since I'm stuck with you until you die, so everything that's yours is mine. Oh. Goody. One last thing, and this to both of you. Can I see you too? Instead of just closing my eyes and thinking. And can you train me to be stronger? I don't think I should go and start making a faction while I'm 10. Maybe once I graduate college or at the least high school. That's two things. But yes, we can show ourselves to you. And we can train you. But which do you want to work on first, your physical body or your magic? I say we train his body first. If he gets too powerful for his young, weak body, he might die. True. For this, there's not much you can do. Just work out often, eat right, and get lots of sleep. Wait, that's it. Yep. Although, you can avoid studying, since we know how to create a hidden dimension, so you can pause time, go there, and study while you take a test. But keep in mind, while we can freeze time, you can't move. You can think, but otherwise, it's useless. But when used in combination with the alternate dimension spell, you can study for as long as you like, then come back and do the test. The alternate dimension will look like an empty field, although you can put any inanimate object in. Within reason. That's cool. Will I age? And can I train there? No. On the alternate dimension, time actually goes half as fast. But since you use your time freeze spell, no one will notice. You don't age in the alternate dimension, you just think. You can practice using risky spells that would normally run the risk of backfiring, with no risk to your actual body. Unless you die. But neither Drake nor I would let you die. In short, you go there, remember everything that happens, and it can help muscle memory, but you can't grow, muscles or otherwise. Helpful, I suppose. So, what now? Opening his eyes, Issei said, we train. The 17-year-old Issei walked down the street, back from school. Over the 7 years since Issei had discovered Albion and Drake, he had trained himself both physically and mentally to the extreme. While not overly muscular, he still had an 8-pack and arms that spoke for themselves. Literally. Albion and Drake would frequently give their 2 cents on anything they could, whether asked for or not, useful or not, or otherwise wanted or not. However, they did know how to only talk to Issei and helped him whenever they could. He was, according to them, one of the strongest wielders that either of them had ever had. Of course, Issei believed that this was simply because he wielded both of them, but they didn't think it was that. Regardless, he took full use of the alternate dimension that they showed him and used it both to study, practice magic, and he eventually learned how to get a TV there. So he could watch any show he wanted anytime. When he was 13, a tragedy struck. His parents were killed in a car accident. At first, Issei didn't know what to do. But with Drake and Albion's help, he worked through it. He decided to become strong for them. So he joined the Kendo Club. Soon, he became one of the best in the nation. Drake had, of course, immediately suggested getting some sort of legendary sword to become the strongest. But Albion talked him out of it by convincing him that neither of them knew where to find a legendary sword. So now, Issei lived by himself. Not including his dragons. But he considered them extensions of himself. When he was 15, he unlocked Balance Breaker in the alternate dimension, and although he had not used it in the real world, he was told that it would be devastating. The same year, he enrolled in Cow Academy, a former all-female school. Unsurprisingly, the dragons spoke the truth when they said that girls would flock to him. The female population had welcomed him with open arms. He was considered to be one of Cow's princes, matched only by someone named Kitayudo. To be frank, Issei never did understand the nickname. Why a prince? Who's the king? The principal. So were Issei and Kiba brothers. Nothing made sense. What was surprising was that no one had attacked him in 7 years. The fallen angels had definitely known about him, and he doubted that the other factions didn't realize something was wrong where he lived. Weil had sensed, well, his dragon sensed and told him that there were several powerful devils around him they had never attacked. Drake suggested that Issei should go bang them. Albion objected on the grounds that Issei was 15 at the time. Issei sided with Albion, and Drake refused to speak with either of them for a week, which ended up being more of a blessing than either of them expected. Unfortunately, Issei said this out loud, so Drake did the opposite as punishment. He didn't shut up for the next month. A living hell would be an appropriate description. However, Drake quickly changed his mood when he found out that Cow's greatest beauty was none other than Ria's Gremory, who Issei had previously promised to attempt to add to his harem. While Issei had never met her, he had seen her on several occasions, and she had lived up to Drake's expectations. Thankfully. God only know what poor Issei and Albion would have had to do if she hadn't. So here we are, as Issei walks down the street. As he walked over a bridge, a girl ran up to him. "Excuse me, are you Issei Haidu?" As she said this, the wind blew her skirt up, revealing her panties for a brief second. You know she's a fallen angel, right? Kill her. Why do you always go with the killing? Can't we at least try to figure out why she's here? We could do that. But it would take a while. But if we kill her, then they would send someone stronger. And then we'd kill them, and they'd send someone even stronger. Eventually, we'd face their boss, and after we kill him or her, we would have destroyed the organization. That would take years, depending on how many this faction has. Which is many. Issei, just see what she wants. Very well. You never listen to me. Stop being such a warmonger and a crybaby. I am indeed Issei. Do you need something? Issei replied. Well, you see, are you single? The girl asked. Why, yes, I am. Why do you ask? Well, I'd like to ask you on a date. Bang her. This is why we don't listen to you, Drake. This. Right here. There are two things on your mind. Getting stronger and banging girls. Why do you even want to bang girls? It wouldn't be you, it's be Issei. Well, if he put his left hand. Never finish that sentence. Ever. Sure. Why not? But I would like your name, Ms. My name is Yuma Amano. A pleasure to meet you. How about we meet here on Sunday, around noon? Yes. I would like that very much. Thank you. Great. I'll see you then. Goodbye, Yuma. As Issei said this, he walked off the bridge towards his house. You are planning on banging her, right? Tell me you're not. Please. I haven't made up my mind. She obviously has ulterior motives, but I want to see if I can redeem her first. If she can be redeemed, then I might as well make her my first addition to my harem. But if she can't, I'll kill her. That's a bit harsh. I told you not to hold grudges against the fallen angels because of that incident all those years ago, didn't I? Yeah, you may be going a bit tough on her. I don't hold grudges against the fallen angels. But she appears to be a member of the group that tried to kill me. Pardon me if I'm quick to kill those who try to kill me. Good enough. Well, fine. But you should try to redeem her. I will. Don't worry. By this time, Issei had arrived at his house and began to do his homework. He could study all the time in the world in the alternate dimension, which he had taken to call NR for not real, but he still couldn't do his homework there. Do you have any plans for the date? Of course. I plan on taking her to a movie, maybe Captain America, then I'll take her to lunch. Afterwards, we'll go to the park. By that time, it should be late enough for the park to be completely empty and she'll probably make her move then. But Issei, what if she falls madly in love with you? You can't tell, but that was sarcastic. He's not very good at it. But the point does stand, what will you do if she doesn't? She has orders. I'm sure that even if I manage to sweep her off her feet, she'll still try to kill me. I won't immediately kill her, instead I think I'll let her tire herself out, then try to convince her to stop. If she doesn't after half an hour or so, I'll kill her. If she does stop, I'll go from there. Risky. I like it. Half an hour may be a bit short. Maybe 2 hours instead. Let's split the difference and call it 1 hour. That's not splitting the difference. 45 minutes it is. Agreed. If she doesn't surrender in 30 minutes, I kill her. Hey now, you just said 1 full hour. Did not. Did 2. You hear me say that, Drake? Not even kind of. Liar, I'm going to sleep, wake me if you need me. Issei had finished his homework and began doing his exercises. He had found since he could do most of the things others did for fun in NR, he should just do this that couldn't be done in reality. Like doing homework, working out, talking with people. Although he did the latter very rarely. Since he had 2 voices in his head or arms, he always had company and they were far smarter and more mature than most kids his age. Although Drake's maturity did vary. After finishing his 2-hour workout session, Issei decided to go to sleep early. On Saturday, he would have to make preparations for the date and he would have to go on the date. Hopefully, he wouldn't have to kill Yuma. Well, he doubted that Yuma was her real name or even her real face. He didn't enjoy killing. When he had killed the 3 fallen angels, he had nightmares for weeks. It took an enormous amount of time for Drake and Albion to get him out of his first depression and he didn't want to go back there. Time skipped to Sunday. As Issei woke up, he realized that his date would be soon. He looked at the clock and saw that it was already 10:30, so he should get ready soon. He had made all of the preparations on Saturday, so all he had to do was go and look great. And I do look great. Debatable. For a human male, you're not bad. There's been better, but there's been a lot worse. What? Who? I demand you tell me now. Well, someone's vain. And Issei, there's a reason that you're one of 2 princes a cow. Not just the top, but you share the top. My parents never taught me to share. They told me to take what I want because nobody's going to give it to you. That I could do anything I want as long as I don't get caught. No. That was Drake. No way. Thanks for quoting me, kid. It really brightens my day. Damn it. I win again. Issei soon got ready, and by the time he was finished, it was already 11:30. First was the movie. Captain America was sold out, so he had to see Frozen. Ugh. Why him? Please don't make me see this. I don't want to. Don't you want me to add her to my harem? Not like this, Issei. Not like this. Issei. Well, I do normally approve of your plans, this one does seem boring and uninteresting, and it's a chick flick. Sorry. I've gotta do what I've gotta do. Meanie. As Drake said this, Yuma walked into the theater, having claimed that she wanted to walk herself to the theater. She wasn't fooling anyone. She flew here and didn't want to get caught. What a lazy excuse. Hello, Issei. Hey Yuma. Ready to see Frozen? Issei said, with fake enthusiasm. Yes. All my friends have been gushing over it, but I haven't seen it yet. Yuma replied, apparently buying the shit covered with sprinkles that Issei just tried to sell her. I heard it's good too. Let's go. And get this over with. After the wonderful and best animated movie of 2014, what other animated movies have even come out? January 1st was the best day of 2014, as of January 1st. Ugh. Issei and Yuma went to get lunch. While there, Yuma ordered a shake and chicken wings, while Issei had a burger and a soda. Man, that shake looks good. Issei said to Yuma, who was on the other side of the booth. He was wearing his standard cow uniform, not having know what else to wear, and the dragons being of very little help. Drake's advice was to go in his birthday suit, claiming it would impress her, while Albion thought going in a tuxedo was the best course of action. Meanwhile, Yuma was wearing her uniform, but her shirt had 2 less buttons, leaving a good view of her cleavage. Want some? Yuma asked, maybe getting her double meaning, maybe not. Yes please. Here you go. Yuma said, smiling, as she grabbed a spoon, got a scoop of her shake, and leaned over the table to feed it to Issei, who gladly accepted it. He also accepted the generous view of her breasts, which managed to get even bigger since she had pressed her elbows together and was leaning over the table. He couldn't help the blush rising to his cheeks, but the cold shake helped. Like what you see. Yuma said, winking. Okay, she definitely did that on purpose. I like this one. I have yet to form an opinion. They continued to have lunch, making small talk, and eventually it ended. Issei paid and took Yuma for the walk in the park. By this time, it was already 6:30. Lunch, he said. Lunch doesn't go until 6:30. Shut up, she's going to make her move soon. As they reached the middle of the park, Yuma leaned in towards Issei, making her breasts press up on his right arm. I like this one. Carry on. Issei. Did you have a good time tonight? Yes. It was wonderful. Thank you so much for this wonderful date. That caught her by surprise. She was expecting some sort of pervy response since she pressed her boobs on him, but this was not a good result. She actually did have a wonderful time herself since no other person had shown her kindness. Well, they had when she was still an angel, she had fallen in love with a human man and fell from heaven to be with him. Unfortunately, before she could do so much as tell him how she feels, the angels condemned her and had the man killed, claiming he was trying to weaken the angels. They had killed an innocent man just because she was in love. When she went to the fallen angels, they showed no mercy. They trained her hard, pushing her to be stronger, not letting her be anything but the best. She didn't have a single friend there. Sure, she had comrades, but they were nothing but coworkers who could die and be replaced. It was my pleasure. Would you do something for me? She said. Damn it, she had done this plenty of times, but none of those men had made her stomach feel like this. She had heard that people sometimes felt butterflies in their stomach, but she herself had never felt that when around her late love. She had felt content to be near him. I would do anything. What do you want me to do? Issei said, smiling. He knew she was having second thoughts, her stuttering proved it. He's awesome. Can you? I can't do this. I'm sorry. Yuma said, bursting into tears. She had tried to keep these tears in since her love had died, but being around Issei just made her let her guard down, and now she didn't know what to do. She fell to her knees in shame. She had only met him 2 days ago, yet she felt like she could tell him anything. So she did. I'm a monster. No, you're not. You're Yuma. My name's not Yuma. It's Raynare. It doesn't matter. You're still the same person I went on a wonderful first date with. I'm not. That isn't even my true form. Well, what is? Look. As Raynare said this, she jumped back and was covered in a white glow, her clothes disappearing, giving Issei a quick glance of her bare breasts. When she reappeared, she was completely different. Instead of brown hair, it was black. Instead of modest clothes, it was a leather thong. He couldn't help but notice that her breasts grew from their already large size. Aren't I hideous? Clothing choices aside, you're beautiful. You're still the same person I went on the date with. And I still want to thank you for it. Whether or not you're a fallen angel with orders to kill me. What? You knew? Yes. Of course. And you still went on the date with me? Yes. You may consider yourself strong, but you don't pose much of a threat, I'm afraid to say. I'm a fallen angel with 4 pairs of wings. I'm plenty powerful. Yes. You are. But I am much more powerful. See? As Issei said this, he stepped back and began to glow. I can use my balance breaker now, right? Let's hope so. After the glow faded, Issei was in his scale mail, with a red base and white outline. Originally, it was pink, but both the dragons and Issei had a major problem with that. So after several tries, they managed to control the color scheme. Albion had object that his color wasn't shown enough, but eventually agreed once he knew that this was the best scheme available. See? Well, I don't doubt your strength, you're still nothing to my dragons and I. Raynare now had a complete look of shock on her face. Issei had clearly known she was a fallen angel, knew that she would try to kill him, and knew that she didn't stand a chance in hell of doing so. What do you want? Want? Why would I want anything? Well, you're a guy and I'm a girl, are you going to? No. I draw the line at willing and underage. So don't worry. Hey girl. Greg, shut up. We're not supposed to talk to her. Go to hell, Albion. Girl, would you like to join Issei's harem? Greg. You can't just ask someone that. Issei said, unable to keep the blood from rising to his cheeks. Well, I mean. Seriously, Drake, you need to learn subtlety. It's something that girls like. How would you know that? Huh? I don't see any Albion JRS running around. That's low. And there aren't any Drake JRS running around either. Look, I wanted to find the right girl first. Excuse me, Raynare tried to interrupt. What? The right girl? Is that why you've been trying to get Issei to start a harem? All I'm saying is that the more girls he has, the more likely one of them is the one. I'd like to say something, poor Raynare. But if he does find the one, what will he do with all the other girls? If he's found the one, she'll be fine with his harem and he can continue to bang all of them for all eternity. Duh. That's despicable. You should be ashamed of yourself. I have something to say. Raynare exclaimed. You really should just let them wear themselves out. It's for the best. I'm sorry. Issei said. It's a lot better than your reason for starting a harem. To maintain relations with the other factions. We both know that that's complete BS. It's the best way. If banging a bunch of girls needs to happen, I don't see why our host can't be the one to do it. Or do them. Nice. Thanks. God damn it, I want to join your harem, Issei. That got their attention. Are you sure, Raynare? Issei asked. Yes. You're the only person to ever show me true kindness. And still be alive, she thought to herself. I feel I should tell you, I plan on making a dragon faction and it will be dangerous. Many will oppose us, some may even try to kill us. I don't care. I can handle myself. And if they send another fallen angel? This caused Raynare to hesitate, but she quickly replied, I'll protect both of us as best I can. If I have to kill someone from my former faction, so be it. Raynare confidently said. Very well then. Boy. If you intend to add her to your harem and she does want to abandon the fallen angel faction, you should mark her with a dragon symbol. What's the dragon symbol? Just a dragon's head that Drake and I have been working on for the new dragon faction. Here, I'll send you a mental image. As Albion said this, he sent a picture of a dragon's head to Issei. That looks really cool. How do I mark her? I don't have to burn her, do I? Do we look like barbarians to you? No. Just imagine the symbol and send some magic into her. And it should show up wherever she wants. Raynare grinned and said, wherever I want. Yep. On your hand, arm, forehead, wherever. Cool. Issei. Mark me now. Hold on, you should know that there are some repercussions to marking someone. They will not be able to date anyone else and even the thought will make their body revolt. Also, they will be more inclined to cater to your needs. This doesn't make them your slave since they won't do anything you say, but they will do almost anything. For instance, if you ask them to wear a maid's outfit, they would go out and buy one, but if you told them to kill themselves, they would slap you. Hard. I'm fine with that. Raynare casually replied. Issei can do anything he wants to me. She winked as she said this. Okay then, here goes nothing. Issei said as he imagined the baddest dragon head and gave Raynare some of his magical power. Suddenly, a pop was heard and the dragon symbol appeared on Raynare. More specifically, her right breast. Want to touch it? Raynare said. Somehow, she had gone from crying her eyes out to happy enough to flirt with Issei. Something about him just made her open up. I'm good. Are you sure? For now. Good. I do want to ask something though. Shoot. Can I live with you? I don't think that the fallen angels would appreciate my joining the dragon faction. Sure. Great. Now that you've heard the good news, I have some bad news. Bad news? Yeah. The fallen angels have this girl, named Asia, who's just the cutest thing in the world. Doesn't sound like bad news to me. Well, we may be planning on stealing her sacred gear, Twilight Healing, killing her in the process. That is bad news. Where are you keeping her? In the old church. There are a couple dozen exorcists and 3 other fallen angels. The exorcists should be easy, but the fallen angels might be a problem. Maybe. Anyway, what now? We should enroll you in school. I plan on meeting with the devils soon, and I doubt they would be willing to mess with 2 factions. As Issei and Raynare walked down the street towards Kao Academy, with Issei's right arm around Raynare, who was in her Yuma disguise, Issei couldn't help but wonder what he was going to say to the devils. Hi, I'm Issei, this is Raynare, and we're going to rescue this girl in a church. Feel free to join us, or do nothing. Not the best course of action. Why not? It's straight to the point and leaves no room for interpretation. I like it. But not very polite. What if he says please? As if on cue, Issei walked into Kao and out walked 3 devils. One had blood-red hair and a large bust, another had pitch-black hair and an every so slightly larger bust, and the final member had white hair and a small bust. Issei smiled and said, "Ah, hello. Are you the devils that I've been sensing at this school?" OMG Issei, that's Ria's, bang her. Bang her now. Braig's reaction aside, that is Ria's, heir to the Gremory household. You would be wise to add her to your harem. The one with black hair is a half-fallen angel and half-devil. The one with white hair is half-devil and half-Nekomata. Nekomata? Like the cat. Yep. Cats are cool too. Ria spoke first. Yes. Why have we not sensed you before? I was concealing my magic. It's a neat trick. Then why reveal yourself now? I felt like I should ask you all something. The one with black hair interrupted, wait. Why do you have a fallen angel on your arm? I can tell that you're not a fallen angel yourself, so why? Oh, you mean Raynare. She pledged herself to my dragon faction. She's no longer a part of the fallen angel faction. The white-haired one chose this moment to speak up. Baka, there is no such thing. Hey now, just because you haven't seen something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And just so you know, I happen to be one of the strongest dragons in existence. Bullshit. Only Great Red, Office, and the 5 Dragon Kings can call themselves the strongest dragons. Ria said. Why does everyone forget us? All 3 of the devils' faces showed clear surprise. Meanwhile, Issei and Raynare just grinned. Who was that? Ria's questioned. That was Drag, one of the heavenly dragons. Remember him? Tied with Albion for 3rd strongest dragon. You have Drag's sacred gear. He also has me, Albion, the other heavenly dragon. Both heavenly dragons impossible. Issei smiled further and said, not impossible. Just unlikely. Would you mind telling me your names? I know Ria's, but your 2 are a mystery. The white-haired one said, I am Koneko. The fallen angel said, I am Akeno. Ria's replied, how do you know my name Issei? You are the queen of Kao. It's kind of hard to not know you. But I can say the same, how do you know who I am? Ria's blushed, thinking fast. He can't know I have a secret crush on him. Especially now that I know he's a part of a potentially enemy faction. I'll just steal his excuse. You're the Prince of Kao. It's hard not to know you. What do you want? I think you have a crush on me. I do too. I share that view. Ria's growled, I'll say again, what do you want? Fine. I learned that the fallen angels had kidnapped a girl and planned on taking her sacred gear, Twilight Healing. She's being held at the church and I was planning on rescuing her. I'm here to tell you to either help me or stay away. The fallen angels. I'm afraid we can't get involved, it would start a war. That's what I figured. Do I have your word that you won't get involved? Yes. Ria's agreed. Wait. Akeno said, I live close to the church, don't make too much noise. Issei grinned and said, that all depends on what they've done to her. If she's unharmed and alive, she lives. If she is dead or in any way harmed, they die. Slowly. The devils couldn't help but shudder. From what they could tell, Issei was an easygoing guy, but from what the dragon said, there was no going back once he's condemned you. Raynare couldn't help but laugh at their reactions, I'm sorry. But your faces are just too funny. Ha 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 ha. Sadistic angel Akeno muttered. Like you're one to talk Akeno. Ria said, just loud enough for her to hear, but not Issei or Raynare. Regardless, Raynare and I must go and prepare. But before I go, I sensed more devils, where are they? You must be thinking of my knight, Kiba, and the student council, who are all devils. Oh. How pleasant. Anyway, I have to get going, so unless you have any further questions. Yes. Do you have an inclination to become a devil or align yourself with them? Riaz asked. I have no feelings to the devil faction. I simply wish to live peacefully. If you get in the way of that, I'll crush you. You're forgetting something. Oh. That. Well, I'm not sure how to say this, but my dragons, Albion specifically, thought that a good way to maintain good relations with the other factions is to start a harem. Raynare giggled and got closer to Issei, while subtly glaring at Akeno. So I am. Raynare here is my first edition and I'm looking for others. Riaz blushed and said, well, I would try to help you, but she made a more than slightly irritated face and continued, taken. Not happily I assume. Not exactly, no. Anything I can help with? Not unless you become a devil. Ah. Sorry. So no other questions. Not that I can think of. Okay then. Bye Riaz, bye Fallen Angel, bye Nekomata. All three of the girls were too stunned to speak as Issei walked off with a laughing Raynare. I'm Skip, they're at the church. Albion, was it wise to leave Raynare back at the house? Why don't you ever ask me about intellectual matters? Because you have two solutions. Kill it or bang it. And yes Issei, it was wise. We don't want the fallen angels to come after her. Good point. Anyway, we're here now, so let's go. Scale mail. Issei was enveloped in a bright light and when it died down, he was in his full-scale mail, with a black base and red outlining. No need to tell everyone who obliterated the church. Boost. Let's just stay here for a bit. Charge up, then take them all out in one go. Sure. Boost. X10. Let's go. Explosion. Issei shot a beam straight at the church's door, which shattered on impact. Knock knock Mutherfinkers. Issei flew in and kicked one of the exorcists into the wall. He counted around 50 exorcists and he couldn't see any of the fallen angels that were supposed to be there. Let's get this over with. Issei then proceeded to slaughter every exorcist who stood in his path until there was only one who was walking around saying something about shitty devils. Explosion. Suddenly, there were no more exorcists. That was easy. What can we say? We're fallen angels, we like being easy. Issei looked behind him and saw the other three fallen angels. Hello. My name is Issei Haidu. I am here to save Asia. Please release her and I will not kill you. The male laughed and replied, ha. You think you're tough shit just because you're in some armor and took out a couple dozen exorcists. Guess what kid, I got some. Expulsion. And then there were two. Issei said. The other two fallen angels looked at each other, then to Issei and gulped. Right this way. She's relatively unharmed. Once there, Issei stood before a lying Asia who was knocked out but still had her sacred gear. She's asleep, we were about to start the ceremony when you came in. Issei then noticed the bruises and cuts. What happened to her? One of our exorcists, the last one you killed, got upset with her. And you didn't stop him. At the time, it wasn't important. As long as she didn't die, she would be just fine. We can kill them now, right? I agree. Death is necessary now. Yes. Let me check up on Asia and then I'll kill them. She appears to only have superficial wounds. Kill them now. Patience. I'm afraid I can't let you live. You've harmed a helpless girl and now it's time to face the music. The two fallen angels tried to run but weren't faster than Issei's explosion. Alright. Let's get out of here, Riaz might know how to heal Asia. If she doesn't, then we can always just wait until she wakes up, she does have twilight healing after all. Alright. Albion, can you fly us back? I'm tired and don't want to walk and I don't think I'm good enough with these wings to fly both of us back. Alright. Do you hear that? Other than the fire that one idiot exorcist started. No. I hope the church doesn't collapse in on us. I sense something, a presence I've not felt since. Oh no. What? Issei walked out the church door, carrying Asia bridal style. He didn't know it, but walking out of a burning church in full armor while carrying a girl was quite the sight. As he adjusted to walking from church and into the night, he saw 4 figures, a woman, a man, and 2 heavily armored guards standing behind them. Hello. Do you need something? I'm so sorry. For Albion and what he is about to do. Greg, what's he going to do? I'm so sorry. Hello. My name is Michiel. I am the leader of the angels. This is Gabriel, second in command. The now identified Michiel said. Oh dear. Issei replied. Whatever do you mean? It's Gabriel. Ooh, oh my god. Issei sighed and said, I'm afraid Albion has a crush on you, Gabriel. Afraid? Why? Michiel asked. Well, Albion usually gives me good advice and helps me come up with good strategies. Don't you have both heavenly dragons? What does Drake do? He has 2 solutions. Kill it or bang it. Well, I'm not opposed to those options, certain situations call for subtlety. That's where Albion comes in. OMG 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 OMG. Looks like you've broken him. Oh well, hopefully he'll fix himself once you've gone. Do you need something? Issei asked. We were wondering what you were doing burning this church. Michiel stated. Haha, oh, that. I didn't start the fire, it was one of those exorcists. Some fallen angels kidnapped this girl and were going to take her sacred gear and then kill her. So I stopped them. Oh. We thought you were just randomly burning churches. Michiel replied. Oh. So if that's all, I kind of need to treat Asia here and fix Albion, so Issei trailed off. We were wondering if you would like to join the Angels faction. You do have the heavenly dragons after all. No thanks. Dude, you know what you promised Albion. Drake, I'm sure you don't know what you're talking about. What? What's he talking about, Issei? Gabriel asked. Issei glared and said, how do you know my name? Gabriel opened her mouth but didn't speak, so after several seconds, Michiel admitted, I don't know why Gabriel can't speak, but the reason is because we have been watching you for some time. A little after you awoke the heavenly dragons, I think. We're not entirely sure when you did though. Including when my parents died. Yes. We saw that happen. And you did nothing. We did not interfere, correct? Why not? No faction may interfere unless they are being threatened by another faction or a preemptive strike. I hope you understand. I do, but you can't expect me to like it that you knew my parents would die and did nothing to stop it. I don't. Would you consider joining the Angel faction? No. I am starting a dragon faction. I thought there was already one in the underworld. Why does everyone bring that up? I'm trying to make one where you don't have to be a devil to join. Oh. I do like that idea. If a war were to break out, most dragons would side with the devils just for that reason. Anyway, what was Drake talking about? Well, this is awkward. Come now, it can't be that hard to say. Issei sighed and replied, well, Albion thought that a good way to maintain good relations with other factions would be to start a harem and include members of every faction. He may have, there was a chance he, maybe, mentioned Gabriel by name. Several times. He even made Issei swear that he would try to add Gabriel to his harem. Wonderful. Everything is going according to plan. Michiel thought, then said, well, I don't see a problem with that. As long as she remains a member of the Angels, it should be fine. And if you want, I may know a certain someone who would also like to join your harem. An old friend of yours actually. And we would be willing to let her join the Dragon faction as the Angels representative. Wait. Gabriel interrupted, don't I get a say in this? No. Michiel stated. His tone left little to discussion. We can talk about more of this later if you'd like, but for now, it's settled. Old friend? Issei asked. Yes. She moved away when you were a child, shortly before your parents died. You were quite upset if I recall. You mean? Anyway, we have to be going now. Leading the Angels and all. Sometimes it really can be a bother. As he said this, all 4 angels were enveloped in a white light and then disappeared. Well, that was interesting. Yes. I didn't expect Michiel to agree to adding Gabriel to my harem. She is the second strongest angel after all. And it will be good to see her again. I fear there may be more than one reason that Michiel was okay with adding Gabriel to your harem. What do you mean? OMG 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 OMG. He's still broken. Damn, looks like I have to walk back with Asia. Oh well. Space skip heaven. Michiel, would you do that? Gabriel whined. Please. We both know you like him. Michiel replied. I do not. Remind me, what was your reaction when you saw him heroically saving Asia? Were you spying on me? I was paying attention to my sister who was spying on Issei. And I told you not to use that spying glass. Michiel scolded. Well. You're welcome. I did not say thank you. I know. Why is he starting a harem? Why can't I be enough for him? Gabriel sat down on a couch, muttering to herself. Because sweetie, he's a guy. He's stupid. I'm sure that once you get to know him better, he'll love you the most. Don't worry about it. You already have Albion, Issei's smarter half, rooting for you. Michiel sat down next to Gabriel and put his arm around her. Girls, why question what is? Why not do something to change what is to what could be? Do you really think so? I know so. Aw, thank you, brother. Also, I want nephews. Brother? Gabriel exclaimed, punching Michiel in the arm. Hey. What, you know you want a sweet little son or daughter? Gabriel stopped punching him and laid her head on his shoulder. Yeah, but you better not tell him. I promise I'll be subtle. Subtly straightforward. Space-time skip. Issei, Asia and the orc. Issei knocked on the door, albeit with some difficulty. Who knew that knocking on a door while carrying a girl would be difficult? Eventually, Riaz opened the door. Oh, hello Issei and girl. Ah, yes, hello Rias. I was wondering if you could heal Asia here. She was the one that the fallen angels kidnapped. I think she's alright, just superficial cuts and bruises here and there. I don't exactly know how to heal her. I'll take a look at her, take her in here. Rias led Issei into the orc room where he saw Koneko, Akeno and Kiba. She took Asia into the shower room to rinse the blood off and bandage her wounds. Hey, you're Kiba right? Nice to finally meet the other Prince of Cow. Oh, you must be Issei. Yes, it is nice to finally meet. Kiba grinned and continued, Rias has told me a lot about you. Kiba. Rias shouted. Go to the store, we need some bandages. But I want to. Now Kiba. Kiba grinned wider and said, very well master, I'll do as you wish. He walked to the door, but right before he left, he whispered to Issei, she actually wants you to call her master. I hear you Kiba. Leave. Now. Fine. Issei could barely hear him mutter, freaking party pooper, just want time to have some fun, I want a nephew someday, is that so much to ask for? Several minutes passed, and eventually Rias came out, holding a bandaged Asia in her arms, who she laid on the couch. She is fine, she just needs rest now. How did the rescue go? I don't see Raynare here, is she okay? She's fine, I didn't bring her because I thought it would be best if her faction didn't find out she was a traitor just yet. Probably for the best, yes. Koneko suddenly asked, how did you know I was a Nekomata? What, you think I can tell what a devil is, but not what a Nekomata is? Interesting. Koneko then got up and sat on Issei's lap. Koneko. Get off Issei, now. Rias exclaimed. No. It is comfy. But it's inappropriate and rude. But it's also comfy. Koneko expertly argued. Told you girls will be driven to you. I didn't expect it to be this literal. Think Albion's okay yet? Let's check. Albion. You there bro? Ong. 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 It's getting better, only one of the three letters are capitalized now. As Rias was yelling at Koneko, a column of flames erupted from the corner and a man appeared. Hello my fiancé. How are you? When he received no response, he tried again, hello. How are you all? Issei turned and looked at the man. He had blonde hair and blue eyes. His outfit consisted of a burgundy blazer with gold embroidery on the right with matching pants and black dress shoes. Underneath his open blazer was a white dress shirt that is not fully buttoned, just one button short, giving a slight view to his chest. Who are you? Issei asked. Oh, Kiba, you've changed so much. I hardly recognized you. When did you start dating Koneko? The man asked. Issei, this is Riser, Ria's fiancé. Riser, this is Issei. He has both of the heavenly dragons in him. Koneko explained. I thought Rias didn't want to get married. Issei asked. It's not that I don't want to get married, I just don't want to marry him. Rias stated, not even trying to hide her disgust. Issei simply laughed and fell off the couch, bringing Koneko with him. While Issei continued to roll around laughing, Koneko got back onto the couch. Do not laugh at me whelp. I am Riser Phoenix. You will show me respect. Issei got up and said, sorry man, but that was pretty damn funny. Didn't mean to piss you off that much. I demand a duel to the death. Issei, if this man truly is a phoenix, then he can't truly die. If, say, you obliterate his arm, he would instantly grow a new one. Don't accept. To the death. Is that truly necessary? In the corner, there was a flash and a woman appeared. Hello. I am Grafia, Ria's sister-in-law. My husband, Serziches, thought that Riser might cause a ruckus. Did she just say ruckus? And so, he instructed me that if Riser does cause trouble, that either party may issue a challenge, and since Riser has already made a challenge, that's not important. Issei, if you accept, you may make any wish, and Riser must obey, as long as it is within his power. You may make your wish before, during, or after the duel. The duel will not be to the death. Any objections? No. And I know my wish. Break off the engagement with Rias. That's within his power, isn't it? Issei requested. It is. The duel shall now start. Grafia said, before she activated a spell that teleported all of them to an alternate dimension. This is a copy of Cow Academy. Feel free to use the full extent of your powers. Of course. Grafia, don't I get a wish? Riser asked. You don't stand a chance. Grafia emotionlessly replied before teleporting to a viewing room. She walked over to a seat and sat next to Rias. Don't worry, there's no way Riser can win. Rias. How did I get here? A very distressed Kiba asked. What's going on? Grafia, you took Kiba too. Probably for the best anyway. Kiba, Riser challenged Issei to a duel, and because Issei accepted, he gets a wish. Kiba grinned, knowing where this was headed. And what did Issei wish for? After Riaz muttered something, he asked, what was that? I couldn't hear you. He wished I wouldn't marry Riser. Good, good, good. Kiba said. Everything is falling into place. Scale mail. Issei transformed into his scale mail and charged Riser, punching him in the face. Riser flew back and sent a fireball at Issei, who just stood where he was and took it. At the best you got, Riser. I could say the same. Boost. Divide. And just like that, I'm 4 times stronger and you're half as weak. Give up yet? Or should we continue? You bastard. I'll never give up. Explosion. Boost. Divide. Riser was now crumpled on the floor, whimpering. Seriously, I'm 4 times stronger than I was when I started. I've stolen 3/4 of your power, and even at full power your attacks didn't do anything. Forfeit. It'll be safer, better, and so much easier. No. Riser. Retired. Issei wins. Ha. That's what happens when you charge into something you don't know about. You get beat. Issei was relaxing, cuddling with Raynare on the couch, watching a rerun of Code Geass. Asia was still sleeping in the guest room, with a note in case she woke up. So what are you going to do about the girl? Raynare asked. She has Twilight healing, she would be a good addition to the dragon faction. But I won't force her to join though. I think she's cute. Oh, I didn't know you liked girls too. Not like that. Aw, and here I thought you would do anything for me, Issei mock pouted. Shut up. Raynare muttered, before snuggling closer to Issei. Maybe if you're that good, then I'd be willing to share. Issei laughed and asked Drag, how's Albion doing? Is he still broken? Let's check. Hey Albion. Are you doing okay? Ong. 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 He says he's feeling better, but still not good enough to talk. As Issei was about to reply, he heard a noise from down the hall. Looks like your guest woke up. You should go check on her. Sorry Raynare, but I have to go. Aw, come back to bed. Raynare pouted. That's a couch. Issei said as he walked out. Eventually, he found his way to the guest room and found a frightened Asia reading the note that Issei had left her in the corner. Dear Asia, my name is Issei Haidu. I saved you from the fallen angels who were going to take your sacred gear and kill you. When you wake up and read this, please come outside, one of the fallen angels and I are watching TV. I know you may be scared of her since she and her friends tried to kill you, but I assure you, she is reformed. If you would like something to eat or drink, just say so, I am an excellent cook. Or so I'm told anyway. Asia said, reading the note word for word. Oh, you found my note. Good. Hello, I am the aforementioned Issei, is there anything I can do for you? Issei said, introducing himself. No. What do you want from me? Asia questioned. Want? Nothing. I just couldn't stand by and let an innocent girl be hurt. But surely you want something. Well, I'd appreciate it if you joined my dragon faction. We're kind of on the small side as far as numbers go, but we're plenty strong. And we could use a good healer. But I won't force you if you don't want to. What would you do to me if I refused? Kill me? Banish me? Why would I do that? I'd let you live here as long as you like. And don't cause any trouble I suppose. Can't have that. Really? Asia asked. Yep. Like I said, just don't cause any trouble and we'll be good. He seems nice enough and it's not like I have any other options. The angels banished me and the fallen angels tried to kill me. What would joining your faction mean? Well, you'd have this little dragon mark wherever you like, it's up to you. If I had an injured dragon, I'd expect you to heal it to the best of your ability. Nothing else? Nothing perverted? Asia asked, with a hint of suspicion mixed in. Well, you could always join my harem. I only have one real member, Raynare, the fallen angel I mentioned in that note. But I have 2 other angels, one of which I haven't seen in some years and another I just met recently. I think you'd like them actually. The angels? I used to be a part of their faction, they kicked me out though. Really? They didn't seem too mean to me. Suddenly, a white flash was seen in the corner opposite of the one Asia was still in, and Gabriel emerged. Issei. What are you doing with this traitor? Gabriel demanded. This was the girl that I saved from the fallen angels. Remember that? The church, I met you and Michiel then. Ring a bell. Of course I remember. I just didn't realize that the girl you were saving was traitor. Gabriel said, glaring at Asia. Issei walked between the archangel and his soon-to-be addition and said, maybe you would like to tell me what you're talking about. She is a traitor. Yeah, I got that, can you explain how? I forgot. Issei sighed and said, Asia, can you tell me? Well, okay, I have twilight healing, as you know, and I was a well-known nun, but one day, an injured devil came by, and I healed him. I was branded as a traitor, simply for following the Bible and doing good to anyone and everyone. Well, Gabriel. She has a good point, and it's not like you're actively fighting the devils. She healed an enemy. That's wrong. What made that devil an enemy? He wasn't part of the angel faction. Neither am I. Am I your enemy, Gabriel? No, but the dragons haven't attacked the angels. Yes, we did. Remember. That's why I'm in Issei's arm. Because Albion and I attacked the world. Kind of. Well, Gabriel started. Again, a flash of white formed the same corner that Gabriel came from, and Michiel appeared. Hello, Issei, Gabriel, Asia. How are you today? I'm doing pretty good. Issei replied. Michiel. We are busy. Gabriel said. Beep. Asia screamed before hiding behind Issei. To clarify, that's good, scared, and angry, no. Michiel summarized. Asia, what's up? Issei asked. This was the time Raynare decided to walk in, and seeing Asia cling to Issei, she decided it would be proper for her to go over and cling to Issei's other arm. I didn't know we had guests, Issei. Neither did I, he replied. Why's he here, Asia asked, still cowering behind Issei. Michiel. I think he just follows Gabriel around. Issei said. He does not. Gabriel protested. Now that I think of it, I kind of do, Michiel pondered. Okay, well, what's Gabriel doing here? Asia asked. Oh, she's going to be joining my harem soon. She is, Asia exclaimed. I can't compete with her. Raynare also made a face. I didn't know that. Will she become a member of the dragon faction or simply a representative? She'll just be a representative, we can't lose the second most powerful angel. Michiel replied. Will this traitor be another member of your harem, Issei? Gabriel asked. To be determined. She definitely will be a member of my faction though. Issei said. But the point remains, why are you here, Gabriel and Michiel? Not that I don't mind visitors, I just prefer a heads up. We are here to tell you that your old friend will be here soon. We do have one last mission for her, simply for old time's sake. Michiel said. Actually, it was because I didn't lock up that damn spying glass and Gabriel couldn't handle her jealousy. This was supposed to be a surprise. Mind if I ask what it is? Just so I know what's happening in my town. Of course. We were actually going to ask you for your help to further help relations. A member of the fallen angels has stolen several of the fragments of Excalibur. I have spoken with Azazel and he agrees. Kakabiel must be put down. Kakabiel. Wasn't he the one that sent the hit squad after me? Yes. I will relish in bathing in his blood. Michiel suddenly grew a tad bit more nervous, he hadn't realized that Issei still held a grudge. The cost of restoring whatever was destroyed just skyrocketed. Well, she'll be here tomorrow, so rest up. Now we have to go, don't we, Gabriel? Michiel asked. Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I want to stay with Issei for the night. Gabriel replied. Well, I would like that, we have that very important thing. Remember? No. Let me remind you. It's an event that you can do anywhere but in Issei's house. Now we really do need to go. Do we really? I don't think we do. How about we discuss this as we leave? How about I stay? How about you don't? And here I thought you wanted to promote dragon-angel relations, brother. I do want that. I don't want your jealously to bug Issei to the point of war. I wouldn't do that. How you doing over there, Issei? Just dandy. See. He said he's dandy. I won't bug him. Will too. Will not. After several rounds of this, Raynare leaned over to Issei and said, are they really this immature? Issei replied, I think Michiel is just egging Gabriel on. But it's funny, let's watch. Whatever you say, master. Raynare did her best to act seductive and nibbled on his ear. I don't think this is the time for that, Ray. Raynare only replied by pressing her boobs to his arm and moving her hand down and down until she reached a very special spot. How about we get a room? Raynare asked. It's not like they'll find out we're gone until it's too late. I think Asia would have something to say about that. I think we should ditch her. I think we need a healer. Raynare sighed and said, fine. But I need some attention. So hurry up with this, I'll be in your bedroom. She then walked out of the room, presumably into Issei's bedroom. My views on fallen angels is getting better every day. Gabriel and Michiel were still bickering, so Issei leaned over and picked Asia up. Hey, you okay? I'm fine, I suppose. I just didn't know you had such powerful people at your beck and call. Heh. Yeah, I guess it needs some getting used to. Hey, are you really going to go have SS? Asia stuttered. Sex? No. I'm still a virgin and plan on staying that way until I'm 18. Killjoy. I'm following the law, yes. What are you going to do? The next time you see a girl, I'm going to possess your arm and grab her boob. That's rape. We drew 2 lines: drag, pedophilia, and rape. Do you remember that? Yes. I apologize. But just because you can't have sex doesn't mean you can't do a little something something. Her. Vert. Brah. Gone. Asia spoke up, so if I joined the dragon faction, I wouldn't have to you know. Have sex with me? No. But you will have this little dragon mark, that's the symbol of our faction. It will make you more attracted to the person who placed it on you. Sadly, I'm the only person who can right now, because there's only me and Raynare, and she can't because she doesn't want to. So I wouldn't have to have sex with you, but I would end up wanting to have sex with you. Pretty much. Well, I guess he's not that bad. I could do worse, not like I had other options. Okay. Where does the mark go? Wherever you want, just imagine it. I can imagine where Raynare wants it. Greg. Issei sent some magic into her, and Asia imagined it over her heart. Issei, if I wanted to, could I move it? I don't know. Drake. Why would I know? I don't have a body. Ask Albion. Hey Albion, wakey wakey. OMG 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 OMG. Let me see if I can help. Where is Albion located? Asia asked. On his beep. My right arm. Issei. I'm trying to get you laid, go along with it. If I wanted to get laid, I'd get laid. Calm down. Asia closed her eyes and a green light enveloped her hands and Issei's right arm. See if he's okay now. Hey Albion, you alright? Ugh. Yeah, I'm fine. But I have a killer headache. Without a head. How's that possible? It just is, okay. I don't want to talk, so let's play a game. It's called Who Can Talk the Quietest. Read, set, go. I'm not playing that. Asia said. Anyway, are you two done over there? Issei asked Gabriel and Mitchell. Yes. Gabriel will be coming with me now. We are done, but I'm not leaving. Come with me or I'll break that glass. Gabriel widened her eyes in surprise and said, fine. But I want him soon. And here I thought angels liked celibacy. Asia said, surprising everyone. She then grabbed Issei's arm and clung to it, all the while glaring daggers at Gabriel. Well, that was fast. What Asia meant to say was that I will be keeping myself a virgin until I'm 18. Anyway, we have to be going. Riaz wanted to see me about something. Come on Asia, let's go introduce you to some devils. Devils, will they be in your harem too? Issei smirked and replied, why? Worried about the competition? No. But they're scary. They're not that bad. They're actually kind of hot. Time skip. Orc with Riaz and company and Issei, Raynare, and Asia. Hello devils. Raynare started. Hello dragons. Akeno replied. We're not dragons. Asia said. About that. Raynare shrieked. Well, you won't become a fire-breathing beast, but you will gain certain qualities. Such as? Raynare growled. This better not mess with my figure. I need to look my best for Issei. Well, you'll gain dexterity, strength, a resistance to most magic, fire specifically. Oh. That's not bad. Why did you have to say that all scary like? I dunno. Also, your boobs will grow. I met a girl once who didn't like that, so I figured I should warn you. Yay. Those devils don't stand a chance against me now. I'll be stronger and hotter than them. Raynare thought. Oh. Thanks for the heads up. Riaz sighed. Damn. I guess I'll never hold up to her. She's hotter and stronger than I am, but maybe I can join his harem in the name of the devils. Yeah. Drake said something about liking me. Issei is sure to add me to make his dragon happy. So Issei, what are you doing here? I thought you called me here. The flash of red was seen in the corner and Surziches appeared. Hello Issei, I believe that this is the first time we've met. I'm Surziches, Ria's older brother and the husband of the referee of your match with Riser. Nice to meet you. I suppose you already know who and what I am. Yes. I would like to promote dragon-devil relations, as I have heard that angels are doing the same thing. They have promised to add both Gabriel and an old friend of Min to my harem, with my friend joining the dragon faction, being the angel's representative, although Gabriel will remain an angel. Did they get a head start? Ugh. How frustrating. Whatever, I'm sure that Riaz will be better than those angel pricks. Well, I was going to suggest adding Riaz and her peerage to your faction and your harem. I have something to say about that. Kiba yelled. Oh, with the exception of Kiba, of course. Unless you swing that way, Surziches half said, half asked. No. Issei doesn't. Raynare replied for Issei, grabbing his arm and once again, shoving her boobs onto it. But she said. But I'd be glad to have a swordsman in the faction. If you'll all willingly join, that is, I don't want to force anything on anybody. I will. Riaz said, just a tad too fast for Raynare and Asia's liking. Where Riaz goes, I go. Koneko said. It will be good to get away from these devils. I still don't trust them after what they tried to do to my sister. Riaz is my best friend. I will join your faction, but not your harem, Issei. Akeno said. Good, that means I'll be the strongest fallen angel in Issei's harem. But what am I going to do about Asia? Oh well, she's weak, I'll still be his favorite. What about Gasper? Koneko asked. He's my bishop, a half-devil half-vampire. He has the sacred gear Forbidden Baylor View, which allows him to freeze time wherever he looks. Unfortunately, he doesn't have complete control over it. Actually, he doesn't have any control over it. He kind of lives in a locked room, inside of a box, because he's afraid of everyone. He's also a cross-dresser, Riaz explained. Oh. I can handle that. Issei said. I can't believe Riaz is joining Issei's harem. Life is indeed beautiful. You're overreacting. Remember what happened with Gabriel? That's what I thought. Anyway, I should also introduce Asia here. She was the one that I rescued from the fallen angels a while back, and she has the sacred gear Twilight Healing. She is a part of my faction, but not my harem. Please treat her well. Surziches silently walked over to Kiba and whispered, I heard you want nephews. So do I. We must work together if we are to succeed. Agreed. I will do my best to have Riaz obtain the highest position, but who is our greatest threat? Raynare. I don't think Issei actually likes her. No. Gabriel is our main threat, she is the most beautiful woman in heaven. Ah. Yes, that would be unfortunate. I will do my best, Mao. Anyway, we have to go. There's some mission that the angels want me to do, so I'm going to need a good night's sleep. Bye. Issei said, waving. He left the room, with Asia and Raynare in tow. Before she left the room, Raynare said, he actually won't be getting a lot of sleep, if you know what I mean. She then stuck her tongue out at Riaz and left. Time skip Issei's house, Issei's room. Issei was lying in bed, trying and failing to get to sleep. So Issei, are you planning on making any more additions to your harem? No. I didn't even plan on making the additions that I've made at this point. I'm still 17 after all. Although I can't say I'm upset at being surrounded by beautiful women. Who do you like the most? I don't know. Raynare seems the most straightforward and strangely honest of all of them. Riaz is the hottest, but I don't completely trust her. Gabriel is the most beautiful, but again, I can't be sure I trust her. I don't think I've even had a single conversation with her actually. So the fallen angel had ended up being your favorite. I have to say, that's the last thing I expected to hear. Indeed. I knew it was between Riaz and Gabriel, but I didn't actually expect Raynare to be anywhere near their level. I like an honest woman. Sue me. Anyway, I'm concerned with how I'm going to get the dragons to unite. I obviously would like the Dragon King's office and Great Red to join, but I don't know if that's reasonable at this point. I doubt that Great Red will join until you have almost every other non-warmonger dragon allied with you. And you probably won't get office's support unless you promise to help her regain her home in the dimensional gap. Great Red kicked her out a long time ago, and she's been trying to get it back for some time. The Dragon Kings are another matter, however. If you defeat them, they will be honor-bound to submit to your will. However, you must do it in a way that they deem honorable, or they will simply choose to die rather than submit. What would or wouldn't be an honorable way to defeat them? Did that come off like I said they're poor sports? They're not, but if you gang up on them or use any type of outside interference, they will consider you a cheater. It would also be helpful if you had several other dragons with you when you challenge them to witness the fight. Where would I find other dragons? Just roaming about on Earth. I know of a band that roam the Hawaiian Islands, enjoying the heat the volcanoes give off. I've also heard of several groups in both poles trying to gain a resistance to the cold as well as the heat. You could also ask the devils to go to that special forest they use to find familiars. There are bound to be some strong dragons in there, and you might be able to bind a cool familiar as well. Space skip outside Issei's room. Raynare was walking towards Issei's room, planning on finally getting laid tonight. Doesn't he know it's rude to add someone to your harem and not bang them? She got to his door and saw a note which read, Dear Raynare. I'm sure you're reading this because you want to have sex with me. I do too, I'm in the living room, come and find me. Raynare immediately left to go find and bang Issei. Once she went into the living room, the door locked itself. Silly Raynare. A few minutes later, Asia came to Issei's room because she had a nightmare. She read the note. Dear Raynare. I'm sure you're reading this because you want to have sex with me. I do too, I'm in the living room, come and find me. And Asia, I'm sure that Raynare left after reading that last paragraph and I put a spell that would lock her in. I oughtn't think that you would come in and have sex with me, so feel free to enter. Love, Issei. Asia entered and ran over to Issei's bed and hugged him. Issei noticed the tears in her eyes and said, Hey Asia, is everything okay? I had a nightmare. Do you want to talk about it? No, just stay. Okay. And just like that, they fell asleep in each other's arms. Meanwhile, in heaven. Gabriel. You know why you're here. Michiel started. No, I don't. It's because you can't control your jealousy. It's getting out of hand. We both want your relationship with Issei to blossom. But if you act crazy, he'll think you're crazy. I know, but it's so hard seeing him with those other women. I know. I'm sorry, but if you act higher than the rest, then Issei will realize this. You just need to be patient. So no more popping up whenever he has a moment with another woman. It doesn't matter who's his first, as long as you're his best. Do you understand? Yes, but why can't I be his first? You can. But you can't just go around yelling at your competition. Try to increase his thoughts of you instead of decreasing his thoughts of them. That's genius. Why didn't you think of that sooner? Because I assumed that as an angel, you would take the high road. I just now realized that you're still a woman. And nothing gets between a woman and her man. Nothing. Gabriel mirrored. End of the part 1. So how was this story? I hope you like it. And if you like it, share this story with your friends and like the video too. And don't forget to subscribe our channel for daily awesome fanfiction. Okay, it's time for me to go. Bye bye.